Namaste. My name is Desi Bartlett, and I'm very happy to be with you here today and to practice. I know that life right now is a little bit chaotic, so we're going to have a very simple sequence which will help us to find a sense of peace in our bodies, our minds, and our spirits. I'm filming in my garden today, and I live in Venice Beach, so we will hear some outside noise, including the wind. Anytime that you hear the wind, I would love for that to simply be a reminder for you to breathe a little deeper. Yeah. So our nervous systems are a little fried right now as a global community. There's a lot happening. And a very simple hack, if you will, for kind of chilling out the nervous system is to let the exhalation be a second or two longer than the inhalation. So I'm going to ask you to please sit in Sukhasana, an easy pose. I have a lot of gear around, I'll use it later. And in your easy pose, bring one hand to your chest and one hand to your belly. And as you inhale, fill the belly and the chest with breath. And as you exhale, slowly release the air. Feel the abdominal muscles drawing in. And maybe let that exhale just be an extra second. Again, inhaling, filling up. Exhaling, letting go, and the duration is another moment. And one last time, please breathe in. And breathe out. Good. And now we bring the hands to the heart center. Please take this time to set a clear intention for your practice today. Collectively, we are working with the theme of letting go. Let's inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale. What is it that you are letting go of today? Are you letting go of stress, tension, anxiety, perhaps a sense of attachment to the way things are supposed to be? And release. So let's come on to the hands and knees. We're going to warm up just a little bit so that everything that we do is more comfortable. Once you are on your hands and knees, spread out your fingers. Knees are hips width apart. Inhale, gaze up to the sky. Lift your heart, lift your tailbone, lift the corners of your mouth. Exhale and round. 2 more times, breathing in and breathing out. And just one more, please. Breathing in and breathing out. Come back to a flat back. Separate your knees. And I'm going to be using a bolster and blocks today. If you have this equipment, great. If you don't, totally cool to use a pillow from your bed. For the blocks, rather than books, I would recommend smaller pillows like the little throw pillows on your couch. So let's come into child's pose. Knees are nice and wide. Forehead will come onto the bolster. I'm going to demonstrate, and then I'd like to invite you to stay in the pose. I will be coming out simply so that I can dialogue what's happening. settle into a sense of comfort. You might even want to just kind of wiggle into the ground a little bit and feel your legs snuggling down onto your mat. Feel your hips snuggling down onto your heels. And allow your forehead to be supported by the bolster. Anytime the forehead is supported, there's a message to the brain that it's safe. Breathe into a sense of safety. Even with all of the sounds of life around us, we can pause and fold in and breathe into that internal space. That sacred space within us where we can just kind of hear ourselves think. You'll be here for about another 20 seconds or so. Slow, steady inhalation. Long and easy exhalation. One more. Good work. Ever so gently, come on up. You might feel a little blissed out, totally normal. And we're going to take the bolster off to the side slightly. It will be vertical. Blocks come in front, or small pillows if you prefer. And you're going to bring your right knee on top of the bolster. Your left foot will step forward, and you're in this low lunge. Some people call it lizard. Totally up to you if the back toes are tucked under or if you're on the top arch of the foot. Both are correct, whatever feels best. And then just start to explore. Does it feel better to bring the blocks lower? Does it feel better to slide the knee back? Personally, I like to crisscross the arms and then rest my forehead on my arms. Again, I'll demonstrate it, and then I will be coming up slightly so that I can explain to you what's happening. Good. So whatever variation you're in, please know that you do have the option of letting the left knee, that front knee, turn out slightly, and you can come onto the outer arch of the foot. So this is a gigantic psoas stretch, and your psoas muscles, or your hip flexors as they are also called, those are the muscles that grip when we are in fight or flight. So when you are on the freeway and it's like gridlock and you're like, oh my goodness, your body can't decide if it should stay and fight or flee. And this is a response that was built into us for millennia, and it protects us, you know. Back in the days of cavemen, if there was a tiger chasing us, we needed to know we can either stay and fight and that adrenaline goes and we have power, or we need to book. We need to run the heck out of there. And either way, we need those stress hormones to just go to stay alive. The rub, the tricky part, is that our bodies and our minds don't really have the ability to differentiate with the chemical release between a tiger chasing us or the news. I was going to say the assault of the news right now. It's intense. And so our bodies hold it. You're in this great big muscle right now that grips when you are in fight or flight. Can you use that little trick, that little hack? Let your exhale be a second or two longer. And let that big muscle release. So good. All right, let's come up. And it kind of feels like when you have a masseuse working on you and they've done one side of your body and then, oh yeah, gotta do the other side. Let's set it up so that the bolster is now on the other side. It is vertical today. Place your left knee on top of it. You can start with the blocks higher if that feels good. Right foot steps forward. And play, explore a little bit. Does it feel better if you're upright? Does it feel better to come on down? Wherever you are, have patience. Each breath cycle, usually we can let go of a little bit more. Again, remember you have the option of turning the front knee out slightly. And I have sort of a instinctual response here to move a little bit side to side. And I think that's just the body finding comfort. Does it feel best to be at this angle? Does it feel best to be at that angle? And just like a pendulum swinging, eventually you find stillness in that place of peace. So on the other end of the spectrum, on the one end of the spectrum, we have fight or flight, and we've got adrenaline and cortisol and all the stuff that makes us go, ah! On this end, where we're moving towards now, which is relax and restore, that's where we have the feel-good chemicals and the chemicals that make us say, ah. So a little bit of oxytocin. Think of the first moment that you step into a warm bubble bath or a jacuzzi. And the body just says, ah. So ways that we can elicit that response. Warm bubble bath. Slightly longer exhale. I also read recently kissing. If you kiss someone that you love for longer than 6 seconds, because oxytocin also bonds us to people. And of course, yoga. These long, steady holds help us to relax, restore, and nourish the body. All right, we're here for about 20 more seconds. Maybe you want to drop a little deeper into your body, your mind, your heart, the feeling of letting go. Okay, yogis, let's come on up and gently come out of that. And now we're going to have the bolster vertical once again. But this time we're using it for a supported twist. So your knees come to one side, they stack on one another, and you simply lay down. Kind of reminds me of like Sleeping Beauty. And if you feel like you could use a little bit more of a stretch, you simply turn your face away from your knees. invite you to stay there for the next minute. Again, I will be just providing a little bit of dialogue of what's happening in your body. In your mind's eye, you can envision a beautiful spiral of light that moves from the base of the spine and sort of coils around and dances from the lower back to the middle back, the upper back, the crown, and beyond. And all twists help us to release, to wring out, quite literally. We detoxify, we let go of that which the body no longer needs. So even though it's passive and supported, it's still very beneficial. And again, you're here for about another 20 seconds, and anytime you hear the wind in the background, let that be a reminder to exhale. Right here, right now. Let it out. Yeah, when you sigh it out through the mouth, it just feels good. And without too much drama, come on up and swivel your legs to the other side. And again, you can begin laying down with your face in the same direction as your knees. And if you took the variation on the first side, please do so on this side. And you'll be here for about a minute and a half. So we have structures in our bodies called Golgi tendon organs. I won't get too anatomically nerdy on you if I can help it. But what this controls is the relaxation response. And when we hold a stretch for less than about 6 seconds or so, just like with oxytocin release, the body doesn't really perceive a deep stretch, or it won't give you that full relaxation response that we desire in this type of practice. So in this type of practice, we're here like 60 to 90 seconds. There's time to settle into the pose, to breathe, to wiggle if you need to, get all the wiggles out, and then settle in. Okay. And it's really lovely if you can, if it's available to you, if you have a small space, a garden, a deck, a rooftop. It's really lovely to practice where you can hear nature. And you'll hear the sounds of life as well. You'll hear helicopters and cars and children and mailmen and all that. It's all good. Listen beyond that. Today we're listening to the sound of the breeze. And that lovely reminder from Mother Nature to breathe. There's a lot we can get by with in this world, not having for a while. We can live without food for a few days. We can live without hydration for a couple days. But breathing, I think we got about, 3.5 to 5 minutes. We have to breathe. The body craves it. Nourish your body with oxygen and light and prana right here, right now. And ever so slowly come on up. And we just have one more pose. It's a very chill sequence. And the idea, again, is simply that of letting go. So we're going to bring one block tall behind you, the other block skinny and medium tall. Now, if you don't have the blocks, again, all good. Just use a couple of little throw pillows back here. And the reason that we have this little diagonal situation happening is so that the heart can be above the hips and the hips can settle onto the earth. Yeah, get comfy. Adjust whatever you need to get comfy, your shirt, your pants, your ponytail. And then once you've gotten all the wiggles out, settle in. With the soles of the feet together and the arms gently outstretched like the wings of a butterfly. Let's take this time to reflect on what we are letting go of. And just like the butterfly lets go of being a caterpillar, sometimes we let go of an old way of being or expressing to make room for something new. A new dream, a new full expression of a previous dream, whatever it is. And also see if you can allow yourself a little extra time to really relax. Relax your outer knees. If you need extra pillows under your knees or under your arms, you can get those. But I would love for you just to move from the lower part of your body, your toes to your ankles. Feel all of that relax. Relax everything from your ankles to your knees, so your shins, your calves. Relax everything from your knees to your hips. Relax your inner and outer thigh, your quads, your hamstrings. Relax your gluteal muscles, the pelvic floor muscles, the belly, the lower back. Relax the little muscles between your ribs, your intercostals, your pecs, the fan-like muscle in the chest. Soften through the middle and upper back. Relax your shoulders, your arms. Let there be a sense of receptivity in the arms, so the arms and the palms are so relaxed. They're open, ready to receive. Soften through the upper back, the neck, even the scalp. And now last but not least, relax your lovely face. Relax your cheeks, your jaw, your forehead, your lips. And when you feel a sense of completion, stretch your legs, stretch your arms, and just like when you wake up in the morning, get really tall from fingertips down to toes. You can roll onto your side and press yourself up to seated. I was going to talk about relaxation and all that, but times are chaotic and challenging, and I think rather than talk about the relaxation response to conclude, which is important and has merit, but it's also stuff you can find on Google, I really just want to let you know that you're not alone. We are a global community of yogis, and we breathe together. And on those days when you feel like, how am I going to do this? Receive a little bit of strength from the collective community that supports you. And on those days when you have a little more to give, like I do today, I have a very full energy body and a very full heart. Give, share,